Good morning. Good morning. It's 7:10 in the morning. And for those of you that know me, at 7:10 in the morning, for me to be on talking to you, I have got to have a message. And I do. I am here without any notes, which again, for those of you that know me, know that that's unusual. But I have been spoken in my heart that I need to get on and tell you this story. And I haven't wanted to tell this story to all of you because it is pretty raw. The message is pretty raw for me. But sometimes when you're told to do something by a higher power, you just have to do it. So here I am, 7 days out from a knee revision. I don't know if you know what a knee revision is, but a knee revision is a replacement of a replacement. And in my case, it's a replacement of a replacement of a replacement of a replacement of a replacement. Anyway, it has not always been an easy surgery for me, but I am here to share with you how strong the words that you are saying are creating the life you are living. And that's sometimes a very hard pill to swallow. So let me tell you once again what I just said. Thank you, Taylor. The words that you are speaking today are creating the life that you are living. And that's good or bad. It's up to you. So my fifth knee came loose last July. I knew it came loose last July, and I ignored it because I didn't want to deal with it. And finally, about 3 months ago, I finally made the commitment to go into my surgeon and talk to him about it. And when I went on the way, I heard myself telling my husband, "It is what it is." I'm going to tell you, I despise that statement. It is what it is, because it is exactly what you believe it is. It is exactly what you believe it is. And through this whole 7 days, that really, the whole picture really has come to fruition. And I want you to apply this to your business, because I'm your business coach. And your business is what you believe it is. And as I look back in my entire career in my business has been what I believed it to be, whether that's been good or bad. Meeting big goals, not meeting big goals. It has been what I believed it would be. So let me tell you my story. When I went in to see the surgeon on the drive, after I heard that come out of my mouth, I was really quiet. It's a 5-hour drive to Mayo Clinic from where I live. And I got really quiet and I decided, no, this isn't going to be what it is. A replacement of a replacement of a replacement of a replacement of a replacement is a pretty strong recovery time. And in the past, in a week, I would have still been pretty drugged up, in a lot of pain. And so I made that decision. I said, you know what, regardless, this is a 2-week thing. In, out, bada bing, bada bing. Bada bing, bada bing. That's what I kept saying to Joe. It's going to be 2 weeks. In, out, in, out. This is not going to be a big deal. This is not going to be a big deal. I don't have time in my life to give this situation any more pieces of time in my life. In, out, in, out. And I started this scenario. And you know, the thing about it is, when you say something, evidence starts appearing. Now, I've got to tell you that, honestly, this is the most tenuous of all the surgeries that I've had thus far. But it's not what I believed. It's not what I professed. And so when we were at the surgeon's, I said, so how long do I have to stay? And normally, you know, they have their normal times for a first time, second time, third time, whatever. And he said overnight. And I took that as evidence that this is going to be bada bing, bada bang, in, out. I took that as evidence. And I started solidifying that in my mind. And I kept saying that all along. I created evidence. I created a whole storyline that this was not as bad as anything that I've gone through thus far, and that it was going to be very, very simple, very easy. Okay, so last Tuesday, the day before, and pre-op, went in, met with him. It is not what he said. The bada bing, bada bang story was not what he said. And I was a little angry. And I told Joe I was a little angry. And he said, Mary Beth, he's never told you what you've been saying. You have created that story. And I got a little angry for a bit. And then I said, no, I am creating my own story. And even though that there are moments of doubt, and as they're hooking you all up before they give you the happy medicine, I tears running down my face, because that's always very nerve-wracking as they're wiring you up and doing everything before they give you the happy medicine that you don't remember anything. Joe looked at me. Now, Joe has never said this before. Joe has always been, I think we should get aftercare. I think blah, 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 blah. He's always been, let me give you a side note. I would not listen to any of the aftercare information that they sent me. There was a class I was supposed to go to. I told my surgeon I wasn't going to it. I would not listen to any of that. And before I went into surgery, I know my husband saw the doubt in my eyes, and he looked at me and he said, you have this. You have this. In, out. Remember, in, out. You have this. And it was what I needed to hear before I went under the knife. And I've got to tell you that I came out of this surgery with a fraction of the pain, a fraction of everything, a fraction of what I have gone through before. And here I sit 7 days out from my surgery talking to you online. Now, why am I telling you this story? I am telling you this story because you right now are proclaiming what it is you are getting out of your business already. So you could be telling yourself, I'm too busy to do this business. And you know what? You're going to become too busy to do this business. Or you could say, you know what? I'm sprinkling this in my life to change my life. I actually am empowered every time I do my business. I am so full of energy that it gives me the energy to live the rest of my life. To live whatever is not where you want it to be. You could be telling yourself, I don't know anyone to book. Nobody wants to book with me. Or you could be telling yourself that every day God reveals who it is I need to be reaching today, and then act upon it. And I'm going to tell you, you will see those people. Those people will respond to you. You could be saying, you know what? Nobody wants to book with me. It's June. Or you could be saying, everybody, the exact person that I'm supposed to book is going to book with me in June, so I don't have to waste my time with those that are not serious. Whatever you are telling yourself. You know, I look back in my career and I placed a minimum order every year for 3 years before I made the decision to restart this business and earn my first Mary Kay vehicle. Do you know I earned my first Mary Kay vehicle, became a sales director, and then my husband took a transfer. He got the transfer on Thursday. He left on Monday. When he got the transfer, I had a 2-year-old and a newborn and a baby unit. So I had 2 babies, a baby unit, a baby at home, and a 2-year-old. And he said, Mary Beth, I have to move. I can't come back. I might be able to come back a bit. So I had to sell a home, move my family. And so my unit didn't grow like I wanted it to grow. And so I started telling myself a narrative that I couldn't do it all. You know what? I started believing that narrative. And soon I started becoming a minimum person once again. And I was leading a unit of minimum people because they were following me, their minimum leader. And I had a conversation with the company and I said, I will never be a minimum director again. I made that commitment. I drew that line in the sand and I made that commitment, and I turned around and not only re-won my first car, but my second car and my Cadillac, and went on to being the fastest growing unit in our entire seminar area. That wasn't just in my national area, in the entire seminar area. You know what? You can draw a line in the sand. You can decide that today, June 13th, you are changing your narrative. June 13th, you are deciding what your words are. That is why affirmations are so important. I want you to tell yourself you're powerful. I want you to tell yourself that you are sprinkling this in and making a difference in your life, in your family's lives, in the lives that God is going to put in front of you. I want you to tell yourself your perfect plan is being laid out in front of you. And any obstacle, that doesn't mean you're not going to have obstacles. Any obstacle is honing you, creating you, and creating you to be the very best person you can be. So I want you to mark this day on the calendar. June 13th, your day, your life has changed because you are going to change your story. What story are you going to say? I'm winning my Cadillac. Bada bing, bada bang. Right now, I am earning my Cadillac. I am changing my life. And that's one of the reasons why I started the Cadillac Club. And that is, you do those 30 faces this month, and you say those 30 faces are going to be revealed to me. I'm putting myself out there. I'm asking every person. You know, when I was at my lowest, when I had moved to Omaha, and this was lots of years ago when I had my 2-year-old and my baby unit, I remember telling God, because I didn't know anyone. I didn't know anyone in my area. And I told God, I said, you put the people in front of me, and I promise you I will ask them. Now, I've got to tell you, that's a big promise from a woman who's an introvert and would prefer not to put herself out there. That energy, it takes energy to put myself out there. But you know what? Every person who walked in front of me, in my mind, once I made that decision, I made that commitment to God, I had to think, is this the one he's putting in front of me? Is this the one that needs me? Is this the one I need to approach? Well, I need to approach that person. And then the results are up to God. If I do my work, he'll do his work. And I told myself that over and over because you know what? He feeds the birds, but he doesn't put it in the nest. So you need to put yourself out there. You need to decide what your narrative is. If you decide right now, June 30th, I am changing my narrative. And you know what? I'm getting on target for and earning my first career car. I am becoming a leader in Mary Kay. I am changing my narrative. Today is the first day of me building a 6-figure income. If you make that decision now, today, June 13th, will be the day of change because you're speaking it. You are already speaking your future. So pay attention to what you're saying. You are already living as a victim or you're living in joy. You know, there are times in our life that we are victims, but there's a choice of being a victim and living in victimization. If you are saying it is what it is, you're living in victimization. If you're saying it is what I believe it is, you are victorious. So I am challenging you to tell me what it is that you are making happen today. I am challenging you to rewrite your story. What is the story that you are living from here on out? Are you going to live in the past story that you are creating, or are you going to live in the story that you want to live in? It's up to you. It's your decision today. So I hope that today you'll contact me. I hope today that you and I together can create a new narrative for where you are and what you want in your life. So I hope you have a fabulous day. Thank you for tuning in. Can't wait to hear from you.